Welcome to Week 2 of the Iowa Conference Series here on College Football 25, as we had a fantastic Week 1 game of the week as Don Bosco and Starmont had a tough-fought matchup. And now we move ahead to Week 2. We've got 3 great user games this week. But before we get to the action, let's go over and recap the action from last week. A couple of conference games with a bunch of non-conference action in there. Here in Week 1, Solon hit the road to Texas and fell to the Longhorns 43-29. Waterloo Columbus with a huge victory at then-ranked 5th Penn State, 38-21, a massive win for the Sailors. Gladbrook-Rhinebeck loses a tough one at Mississippi State, 37-20. Same could be said for Central City. They can't quite pull it off at Memphis, 24-18. In conference play, Waterloo East fell to the Spartans of Grundy Center, 41-27. And City High got past Waterloo West, 31-26. Back to the non-conference for a second. Cedar Rapids Prairie is at home to take down UAB 31-23. In the game of the week, you saw right here on this channel, Starmont takes down Don Bosco 35-14 in on the national game of the week. And finally, in non-conference play, Cedar Rapids Kennedy takes care of business against Colorado inside of Kingston Stadium. We've got 3 great user games coming up in this episode. Waverly-Shell Rock, Cedar Falls, and Starmont all in action here in this one. And we'll get things started with Starmont as the reigning national champions hit the road to TJ McLaughlin Field in Waterloo to take on the Columbus Sailors fresh off a win at 5th-ranked Penn State. And we'll get you to that one now. It should be a great game in Waterloo. We'll head over to TJ McLaughlin Field. It's the Stars and the Sailors, and right away, Jerron Sunday, fresh off a massive game against Don Bosco, breaks off a huge run into the red zone. Starmont looking to get on the board first. Fitzgerald in the pocket, finding nothing. Scrambles outside the pocket. He's got room, and he's got the end zone. Elijah Fitzgerald gets inside the pylon. As Starmont strikes first, they lead the Sailors 7-0, not quite midway through the first quarter. But Fitzgerald would also get it done with his arm. Here, he finds Kian Amerson on a crossing route. He breaks a tackle, and he's got plenty of room and plenty of speed inside the 40. It's a big gain after the catch for the freshman. No points on this drive, but with less than a minute to go until the half, Jerron Sunday rushes his 4th touchdown of the year in not even a quarter and a half. Jerron Sunday, the outstanding junior running back for Starmont, who didn't even start the previous 2 seasons. Well, he's starting now, and Starmont leads 14-7. And believe it or not, that would not be the end of their scoring before the break. Fitzgerald, a deep shot to Michael Hilton, 53 yards to the house. And at the break, Starmont with a massive momentum shift as they lead 21-7 over Columbus at halftime. But those pesky Sailors would not go away, back within 3 with less than 2 minutes to go. But once again, it's Fitzgerald to Hilton, this time 75 yards. Nobody's going to catch the speedster as Waterloo Columbus has a massive defensive error. They trail once again by 10 points with less than 2 minutes to go in the game. They would strike back themselves with a score, but this one put the game to bed. Fitzgerald way down the field to Hilton again, his 3rd touchdown grab of the day, and that one was the dagger as Starmont takes down a game Waterloo Columbus squad 38-28. The 4th-ranked Stars stay undefeated, 2-0 in the young season, while Waterloo Columbus falls to 2-1 in the year. A good win for Starmont. Now we're over to GoHawk Stadium as Williamsburg, ranked number 9 in the country, takes on Waverly-Shell Rock. And it's a good start for the GoHawks. Tyrese Walker with the sack on the first play from scrimmage. And on that same opening possession, a 3rd and long, and DeQuincy Boone gets the sack as the GoHawks get the football, and Taylor Hermanson with a quick pop pass to Keon Maddox, who scores the 1-yard touchdown, and the GoHawks lead 7-0. But Williamsburg has been to the conference title game 2 years in a row, and they're no slouch as they prove on this long touchdown pass early in the second quarter as they tie the game at 7. Now check out this play. It's a screen pass for Williamsburg, just trying to get something going, but it's tipped, and it's picked up by Case Alonzo. The big nose guard is rumbling, bumbling, stumbling down into the red zone. He's finally dragged down by the running back, but a fantastic return for the D tackle. And Brett Dubose would finish the job from 4 yards out for Waverly-Shell Rock as he gets into the end zone on a 4-yard touchdown run as the GoHawks lead 14-7 at the break. Williamsburg trying to get the offense going here late in the half. But once again, it's that Waverly-Shell Rock defense. DeQuincy Boone again gets into the backfield for the massive sack. And the Waverly-Shell Rock offense into the 4th quarter, still leading 14-7. Here's another pop pass, this time to Josh Wright McGee. Could have scored, but they're wasting time as he's pushed out of bounds at the 1-yard line. And at the 1 yard line, that means you go to the fullback. It's big number 81, Jaquil Anderson, getting in from a yard out. Coming into this season, get this, 14 career carries with 10 touchdowns for that young man. The Go Hawks know how to use him. There's another touchdown for him as they take the lead. 21-7, Williamsburg trying to stay alive in this one, and they do a phenomenal touchdown grab as Waverly-Shell Rock right away decides to challenge this one, but after a couple of different angles on the review, it would stand as called. Williamsburg back within a score. Waverly-Shell Rock trying to put the dagger into this one, and they would right here. And another pop pass to Wright McGee. This one goes 40 yards to the end zone. Nobody's going to catch Wright McGee on this one. Waverly-Shell Rock wins 28-14, a massive win over number 9 Williamsburg for the Go Hawks. For our next game, we'll head over to Cedar Falls where the Tigers are set to take on Sam Houston in non-conference action. Just pick it up in the second quarter. Tigers trailing 3-0. But first-year starting quarterback Wheeler stands in the gun and has plenty of time. Sends a shot down to the 20-yard line where it is caught by Terrence Weeks. A big pickup there for the Tigers. Deshaun Wheeler, the first-year starting quarterback, looking around the field again. Once again finds Weeks, who's taken down just shy of the goal line. He's inside that 1 yard line, and the Tigers will finish it off. Ethan Hooks with his 6th career touchdown run from less than a yard out as the Tigers take a 7-3 lead. Sam Houston lost their lead, but they're still going to fight, as you'll see here in just a moment. Trying to work down the field, escapes pressure, does the quarterback, but that's a big mistake as there's T.T. Claiborne, the stud cornerback for Cedar Falls. A big return down to the 25-yard line. Tigers wouldn't score there, but just before the half, they would have their big opportunity. Wheeler, a shot down the field, finds Ivan Berry, the stud from Cedar Falls, his 15th career touchdown pass. Tigers lead 14-3 at the break. Fourth quarter now, Tigers up 14-6. All day for Wheeler in the pocket. He gets rid of it, finds Weeks, who's going to go all the way. It's a big touchdown for Cedar Falls as that's the dagger. They take a 21-6 lead with just over 6 minutes to play. Right before the end of the game, Sam Houston would get one final touchdown to make it 21-13, but that is your final. The Tigers get the victory over Sam Houston by the final of 21-13. And before we finish off this episode, I do want to give a quick update on the standings. Starmont, the only team, has played 2 games, and they've won both. They're 2-0 through 2 weeks of play. Waverly-Shell Rock and Cedar Falls are both 1-0. Of course, Cedar Falls game coming in non-conference action, so they're 0-0 in the conference. Waverly-Shell Rock getting the win in conference play. And Don Bosco sits at 0-1 after the Week 1 loss and the Week 2 bye. They're back in action next week. We'll have another great week of action coming up next time for Week 3, so stay tuned for that. Until then, thanks so much for watching.